3 days passed in a blur, thick with unanswered questions. I returned to school, hoping for some clue about what had happened, but found only more uncertainty. My locker remained empty of the incriminating sheet, replaced by an official notice about the exam security investigation. It was unsettling. The atmosphere was suffocating. Whispers followed me through the halls, and teachers exchanged worried glances. Sayuri had stopped attending classes altogether, adding to the growing sense of dread. Everyone was talking about rumors, but none pointed toward the truth or involved my name directly. The day I was supposed to die dawned clear and blue, a cruel irony that felt mocking. Despite everything, a strange compulsion drew me back to the rooftop, the place where my life had almost ended. It was as if something or someone was waiting for me there. I found Ren leaning against the fence, gazing up at the vast emptiness above. He hadn't changed his posture from before. A quiet sadness clung to him like a shadow. When he heard my footsteps, he turned, relief flickering in his eyes. "You still came," Ren said quietly, his voice barely a whisper. I shrugged, trying to appear nonchalant. "Habits are hard to break," I replied, knowing it was a flimsy excuse for the desperate need to understand what had happened and why he was here. We stood in silence for a long moment, the space where my body had fallen feeling distant now, like a fading nightmare. Ren broke the quiet first, his voice laced with regret as he spoke about the other timeline and the fear that had consumed him. My throat tightened as I admitted that I had blamed him in that other life, desperate for someone to take responsibility for my fate. But now, with the benefit of hindsight, everything was becoming clearer. It wasn't Ren who pushed me, it was Sayuri. Ren exhaled shakily, the weight of his guilt almost visible. He acknowledged that his actions weren't excusable, but I quickly added that understanding the truth meant he could choose a different path now, and he already had. A glimmer of hope sparked in his eyes. He turned to me, his gaze searching. "I don't know why you came back," he confessed, questioning fate and miracles. But then, with a newfound resolve, he vowed to stand by my side no matter the cost if something like this were ever to happen again. My heart jolted at his words, overwhelmed by the sincerity in his voice. He stammered, adding that it wasn't just friendship that brought him here. He admitted that I was important to him. The wind carried his confession away, but I understood perfectly. I smiled softly in return. "I lived an entire life where I died without hearing you say it," I told him gently. "Do you really think I didn't notice every time you stood on my side, even silently?" He stared at me, surprised by my insight. Ren suddenly laughed, breaking the tension with his unexpected outburst. He playfully accused me of dying, coming back to life, solving a conspiracy, and still managing to tease him. I shook my head, clarifying that I wasn't making fun of him. I was thanking him for choosing differently this time. As the final bell rang below, students poured into the courtyard, their voices rising like a distant chorus. Ren turned to me, offering a reassuring gesture. "Hey, Eika," he said with genuine concern. "If you ever feel like the world is pushing you to the edge again, call me first, okay?" Before the rooftop, before everything. I nodded, my resolve strengthened by his words. "I will," I promised with conviction. Then, adding a touch of humor, I said, "But I'm planning to avoid rooftops for a while." He grinned, offering his hand. This time, when I took his hand, it wasn't to save myself from falling, it was to move forward together. As we left the rooftop behind, the ghost of the girl who had once died there faded with every step. In her place stood someone new, a girl who had faced death and chosen life.